Well, the original building that sat on this land was this farmstead right here, and it was built in 1886 by Stony Holiday, and it's made out of American chestnut logs, which I believe no longer exist. And he and his wife raised 3 children here, and I'm not sure how long they stayed here, but they eventually abandoned this place because of just the harsh weather, and it was difficult for them to farm and grow crops. This place pretty much sat vacant until 1939 when Roy and Tilly made their way up the valley. He was working on a thesis on elk and small game migration, and so they ended up renting this place for, I believe it was $5 and they stayed here for a year, and I believe they both were going to college down in Atlanta, and so they were notified that this place became available with about 100 acres, and so they ended up purchasing it. So for the next 40 years, Roy and Tilly rented out this cabin to hunters, but it wasn't until the early 1980s when they both retired that they moved up here and focused on renovating the cabin. And so that second piece that you see attached to the right, that's originally an 1830 cabin made out of also American chestnut logs, and it was moved up from the valley to here where they've added it on to include 2 more bedrooms and 2 more bathrooms, as well as a private business area below, and then they added on a kitchen at the back. The additional wood from that second cabin there was actually used to build the bunkhouse. When Tilly passed away at 89, her granddaughter Neville inherited the hostel and has now turned it into a very successful bed and breakfast, as well as a hostel for hikers. And again, there's the bunkhouse, the wash house. Out here, they've got 2 safari tents, and I will show you more video of those. We're staying in one of those tonight. So today we're taking a 0 day, and we've moved out of the lodge, and we're in now a safari tent. So this is what the one looks like with a queen size bed. As you can see, you got a couple of side tables, you got a little desk here, and you got another bench there. So yeah, you got a power out here. They've got a heater if you need it, but it's going to be a pretty mild night, so we're not expecting to use that. But we've got a view of, down here's where the goat pen is, and then there's some cattle out there on the field. This is another safari tent they have available, which has twin beds in it. Paul said that this area over here is for tenting, and so it's right next to the goats. As you can see, one of them, I think, is peering out, looking at us over there. Yep, he's looking at us, wondering what we're doing. But from our location, right down here is the showers and the toilets. There's the bunkhouse, and again, there is the cabin we stayed at for the last 2 nights. I'm standing at the front door. That door over there was added in later when they extended onto the original cabin. But this is, and I think that door was also added on. But I'm standing at the actual front door, and then you've got the windows above, and then very high ceiling. And then there was the original fireplace, and of course that insert was added in later. One thing you would notice on the walls over here, they've got these notches, and that was because there was that second floor that went all the way across, and during their renovations they got rid of that and added in the loft, which I'll show you in a bit. And this is where we stayed. Before COVID, this area down here though was kind of like the public meeting area, and they had games and books and all kinds of things. But with COVID, this is closed down. So because we're using the loft upstairs, we have the whole cabin to ourselves. This is what our room looks like in the loft. We had a queen size bed, and you can see all of our stuff hanging around. But it was very comfortable up here. And then the loft looks down. over the public area down below. All right, for those who are staying in the bunkhouse, this is the area where you can take a shower and go to the bathroom. This is their wash house, and it's quite nice. You know, here's the bathroom, and then I believe they have 2 showers. They have a nice bench there where you can put your stuff, and here's the second shower. And then over here is another bathroom. So they got 2 toilets and 2 showers here. And then a washer and dryer and loaner clothes if you want to use those while you're doing your laundry. Now I'm in the bunkhouse. I just came through the front door. And over here, there's a little room, and it sleeps 4. And it's very cute. They got some little shelving where you can put some of your stuff. And it's got a sliding door for some privacy. Across this is the kind of the living room area, and they have a wood burning stove if it's needed. And then over here is a little kitchen area or seating area where you can read and, you know, and have your meals. And then they always have over here a stocked refrigerator and some snacks that Neville makes, cookie bars today, and it looks like regular snacks. And then it's on an honor system, so you just make sure that you write down what you've taken and pay for it when you leave. And then they have a couple hiker boxes here full of stuff. But other than that, this is really cute. And then they have upstairs, so let's go upstairs and see what's there. Wow, upstairs. This is the loft. And they've got 4 bunks here. And they've got 5 bunks this way. And as you can see, it's really, really a nice place. And then they've got a note on each bunk for some of the rules and cleanup to help when you leave. But yeah, this is a view of the upstairs loft. At the front of the bunkhouse, this is an area where you can do some washing up and then just relaxing. They got some nice benches here. And as you can tell, the 2 dogs have found the comfy area. And then they've got a hammock.